Right. In this video we're going to be talking about the second type of tile list, which is a highly mobile list and gives you a lot of options. In the last couple battle reports I've been playing this list, and it's kind of a weird point level at 1875, but I've kind of trimmed down to 1850 for this video, and there's a 1750 version of it on my blog. So let's just kind of go over what we got on here. We'll start with the HQ Warlord, which is of course a commander. And he's got loaded out with Iridium Armor, Drone Controller, Cyclic Ion Blaster, Shield Generator. I just like it. I don't really need it. Onager Gauntlet, Missile Pod, and Target Lock. So he, of course, is going to be running with the drones, giving them BS5 marker drones, and he can fire at something else with his weapons. For troops, I got 3 troops units. Both Fire Warrior units are in Devilfish with SMS and Disruption Pods. They get a little spendy like that, but it has a lot of survivability, and SMSs are just too good not to take. So the first one is just 6 guys with pulse carbines, and the other unit is a full unit of 12 with the Shashwi. And yeah, the third troop choice is for 1850 is 16 Kroot with a Kroot Hound and sniper rounds. Being able to choose between the sniper shots and the regular shots is pretty big. For fast attack, I'm running 3 fast attack choices. Of course, my Piranhas, which I'll probably never play without again, using fusion blasters. Oh, and disruption pods, of course. And then I got a unit of 5 marker drones. I'm sorry, 5 marker drones and 8 marker drones instead of Pathfinders, because these guys are just more mobile. For elites, I'm running 3 units of 3 suits. Each of them have 2 weapons. They're not twin link. They're just 2 weapons. So I got one with 6 plasma rifles, one with 6 fusion blasters, and then one with 6 missile pods and the Shashray with a Pure Tide engram chip. The idea is that these guys right here, these missile pod guys, are basically replacing a unit of broadsides, and with the Tank Hunter and with the Pure Tide chip giving them Tank Hunter, or in my last game, which is even more important, the Monster Hunter, which really played out, they are very good at substituting for the broadsides. Heavy support, I'm running 2 heavy support choices. Of course, it's going to be a Hammerhead with SMS, Disruption Pods, and some munition, and of course Long Strike. I didn't play Long Strike at first, but now that I have, he's just too good. Just having the Tank Hunter alone, the 2 main things, of course, is the Tank Hunter. So if you're going against AV-14, you get 2 chances to get that pin shot, and you get 2 chances at a 5 over 6. That's pretty good odds to get it. And then, of course, is the Overwatch, where you can Overwatch multiple times. It's just too good. That's really amazing. And of course, it is the same Skyway I've been running with Disruption Pods and SMS. And a Blacksmith, because he doesn't have one. And that's basically the list. Now, the point of this list, as I said, is that it is highly mobile. It gives you a lot of deployment options. Of course, you can take these suits and deep strike them. The Fusion Blaster guys, I will almost always deep strike to put them down next to something that has to die. These guys will frequently actually deploy, normally, depending on what I'm playing, because they do give you quite a bit of firepower. And if they're off the table for a turn or 2, or don't make it till turn 4, that can really hurt. These guys are just really, really flexible. Can go either way, with a lot of, because there's all those plasma shots, especially if you get a marker light support. There's quite a bit of damaging firepower. And of course, most people don't realize just how fast Crisis suits really are. They're jet infantry, jetpack infantry, which means they move 6, run D6, and then move 2D6, which gives you up to 24 inches of movement in a single turn, which makes them really good at that bottom turn contesting. A lot better than most people realize. In fact, I've caught people off guard by just how fast and mobile this list really is. Of course, here's your main marker light unit. He's going to be deploying with the shield drones, gun drones. I don't know if I've been doing that. I don't know if I like that, because usually the shield drones, the marker drones get targeted early, and so he has to take a leadership test. And true, he's leadership 10, but there's still always a chance of failing. So I might just deploy him separately or with the crisis suits, and then move him over to the marker lights when I get to play, especially if I'm going second. And another small unit of 5 marker drones, just to give a little bit of more marker light support. The Kroot will almost always outflank, just to keep them off the table, because they are pretty easy to kill. But they don't have to outflank into your opponent. That's the thing that where objective placement is really important. I will always put an objective within 6 inches of a table edge for the Kroot, whether it's on my side or his side or in the middle, somewhere where the Kroot can go on and score it. And that's part of strategy combining the list with deployment, how important those objective placements really are. Of course, the Piranhas are fusion blasters, so they're fast, can kill stuff. And with the free gun drones that come off them, gun drones are a great little harassing unit. You just drop off first turn and just go start doing whatever they need to do. And if they die, it's literally convenience. They don't give up kill points, they don't give up victory points. They're just 6 gun drones that annoy the crap out of you. And the Devilfish, the Devilfish are pretty fast, being able to move over terrain and stuff, being skimmers. I thought that skimmers could flat out 12 inches, but I was wrong, so they're still stuck to 18 inches a turn. But you're probably going to be doing that a lot with these guys. I will frequently hold these guys in reserve and just bring them on late game. It depends on what's going on. Again, this list gives so many deployment options, so much flexibility, that you really can't say, I'm going to do this, because it all depends on what your opponent is playing, what kind of list within a certain army, and how he deploys. Especially considering I've never had a chance to deploy first. Playing my Tau yet, always gone second. But that's kind of bad luck on my part. But the Devilfish, again, are flexible. You can deploy one. I kind of, depending on what's coming at me, I'll deploy one so I get those extra SMS shots. And then I'll just kind of hide behind the other things, out of line of sight or behind the other tanks, and just put out some SMS shots. And the other one I'll hold in reserve to get one of my objectives late game. So run up and take an objective. And I will frequently just send the other Devilfish just straight across the table, kind of sneaking around the flank, going, Here, I'm a Devilfish, come deal with me. Or they'll usually ignore it for 2 or 3 turns, and I'm almost there. And depending on what's left in the backfield, I don't know, that could give me putting 24 shots with the pulse rifles on something could be really damaging. There's a lot of what ifs. I mean, there's so many what ifs. You can't say how to play this list definitively. Of course, these guys will deploy. This thing, the Skyray, is the closest to the static unit in the whole list, because he has to stand still to be really effective, because if he moves, he can only fire 1 marker light at full BS. So, yeah, I mean, he's closest to static as you come. So kind of things kind of revolve around the Skyray and the list. So, but I always want to be moving the Hammerhead, and I'll snapshot the SMSs off that if I have to get that extra cover save. Because if he just moves anything at all, sure, he has to snapshot the SMSs, but then he gets a 4-up cover save, thanks to the Disruption Pods. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. This list is one of those ones you just have to play. You have to think. There's a lot of thinking with this list, because first of all, they're Tau, so you don't want to get into combat if you can avoid it. Except with maybe with this guy with the Honor Gauntlet and a Shield Generator and Toughness 5. I mean, he can take quite a beating. There's no doubt about that. But there's just so many things you can do, and deployment of objectives is another key factor in how well this list will do when you're playing objective games. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's my mobile list. I'm probably not going to make a pure Tau static list. I'm going to make a static list, but it's going to be Orc and Tau list. So that will be coming very soon, as I'm going to start working on those lists probably this weekend. So that's it, and thanks for watching.